Hello YouTube, this video is about putting a seat in this car. NHRA regulations under section 4A page 5, interior 6, seats. Properly braced, framed, and supported seats constructed of aluminum, fiberglass, carbon fiber, double layer poly permitted. See General Regulations 6.2. I'm going to read excerpts from General Regulations 6.2. It's quite long, and you should read the General Regulations for yourself to make sure that NHRA has not specified additional items for your car and class. So here we go on section 21, page 32, General Regulations 6.2, upholstery seats. The driver's seat of any car in competition must be constructed, braced, mounted, and upholstered to provide full back and shoulder support. The driver's seat must be supported on the bottom and the back by a frame or cross member. Seats must be bolted with 4 bolts on the bottom and 1 bolt into the cross member. All bolts must go into frame or cross braces. Properly braced, framed, supported, and constructed seats of aluminum, fiberglass, carbon fiber, or double layer poly are permitted. That's excerpts from Regulation 6.2. Now we can get started installing our seat. This car was originally equipped with a bench seat, so I don't have pre-drilled holes for the driver's seat in the vehicle. I do have a sub-member that goes across here that we can put bolt holes through, and we'll have to put some kind of frame in the back here so we meet NHRA rules. What I've done is I've put bolts in the bolt holes for the bench seat, and I've shined a laser across so that I can get a line that's perpendicular to the center line of the steering wheel. And what we have to do is draw that line, and then we have to find the center line of the steering wheel. So first I'll show you the laser. With the lights turned off, you can see the laser line across the floor, and we'll take a marker and mark that. We'll mark the passenger side also so that we have it. With the laser on the center of the steering column, it paints a line across the floor that's perpendicular to the line we just drew. We've got a square sitting on that line, so we can draw the center line of the seat. And now we have a reference where to put the seat. I've purchased Summit's dual layer poly seat, the mounting brackets, and the adjustable tracks. And we're going to put them together. The first thing I want you to do is to take this wire and connect the 2 tracks together. The pictures aren't great, but what I think they want us to do is to take the wire and run it through that hole and put the retaining spring back on. By retaining spring, I mean this spring here. It slides off, opens up the wire. It allows you to put the wire through the hole, which is not easy on the side that has the adjuster lever. And we have the 2 tracks connected together with the wire. The next thing I want you to do is take the bolts and slide them through the holes provided in the tracks, but the bolts don't fit. So we're going to have to enlarge the holes. So we're going to open them up with a die grinder bit and a drill and check our fitment. And now it fits nice. We have to do the same thing for the slot. And now the bolts will go in. What you're supposed to do is take the cone washer that they provide and put it against the bottom of the seat and put the bolt in. But there's next to no threads to engage the bolt that's inserted in the poly seat. I mean, you get 3 turns out of it. So I'm substituting their grade 5 bolts for grade 8 bolts, 1 inch long, and these screw in far enough to make me satisfied. The next thing they want you to do is position the tracks on the bottom of the seat with the cone washer facing the seat and thread the bolt into the bottom of the seat through the track, and do that for all 4 bolts. And tighten them down. The next thing they want you to do is to drill holes in the mounting brackets 11 inches apart, which is the distance of the studs on the bottom of the tracks. The tracks are 1 7/8 inches wide, so half that distance is 15/16. So we have to mark off 15/16. We'll scribe a line. And the track is 13 inches long, so we want to center 11-inch holes, so that's 1 inch from each end. So we'll go 1 inch. And 11 inches. And we'll make those punches a little heavier. Check our measurements, and we have 1 inch on this end. And we have 1 inch on this end. Now we got to drill some holes. We'll drill 1/8 inch pilot holes. Check to make sure our holes are in the right spot. And they are. And we'll use this as a pattern for the others. We'll take our drilled bracket, lay it on top of a second bracket, mark the location of the hole, and punch it out. And go drill it. The instructions say to drill 11 32 holes for the studs from the sliders. Let's see if they were right. That fits pretty good. And we have brackets and sliders on the bottom of our seat. Now we have to go put brackets in the car. With the future driver sitting in the seat and she's confirming that it's comfortable for her, we can bolt it to the floor. We drilled holes in the base plates and used the base plates to mark the location of the drill holes in the floor. This is where the cross member is. So we're going to go right through the cross member, and now we'll center punch it. Now we get to drill some holes. 1/8 inch pilot hole through the floor and through the cross member. Here's our 11 32. We now have the upholstery installed on Summit's racing seat. We've got 4 bolts going through the floor, 2 on this side, grade 8, 2 on this side, through 1 existing cross member, and 1 that we made. What is lacking is the back brace, but I don't have a roll bar in yet, so I can't put the back brace in. but we will do that. I was not impressed by the hardware that Summit sent with the seat. In fact, I used very little of it and used my own grade 8 bolts. With the install of this seat, I think we've completed what we started out to do. We now have a seat where we can position our steering wheel, our brake pedal, and our gas pedal. If you enjoyed this video, there will be more.